Hey friends, Ryan Moffat here with Addiction Hope. It's May 2017. Hope you're doing awesome. If you came to the website looking for help for your addictions over substances, drugs, prescription pills, whatever it is, just really glad you're here. Click around. Hope you find all the resources you're looking for. One of the assignments I was given this month was to ask the question, how can Christ help me in my addiction to prescription pills? And so sometimes we wonder, does Jesus really have power to do anything? Is it just kind of a mythological story? Is there a real guy named Jesus? If so, does he have power in my life? I would say yes, as a pastor, for sure, Jesus has power in our lives. But I think it's important that we frame this question up a little bit, because oftentimes what we do is we have our theology over here, and then we have our real life over here, and the two don't intersect in any sort of way that makes sense. So if you're a Jesus follower, the amazing thing that's offered to us is not, Jesus doesn't just ask the question, do you want to be saved? One of the questions he asks oftentimes in the Gospels is, do you want to be healed? And the difference is paramount, right? Do you want to be saved? It's kind of an impersonal thing that happens to me. Do you want to be healed? That's an opening up of one's life, finding the broken areas, and actually letting God heal those things. I'm reminded of a story I read some time ago from a young man named Barnabas Piper. You might have heard of his dad, John Piper, who's a world-renowned preacher, author, amazing guy. But Barnabas grew up in this Christian home, and he knew Dad cared a lot about it, but he didn't care so much for the Christian faith. And anyway, after battling through addiction and all sorts of stuff, Barnabas tells the story of his conversion to Jesus. And I loved his story because he said, I went to the supermarket, I bought a 6-pack of beer, I drank the whole thing, and when I got done drinking it, I realized I loved Jesus and I wanted to follow him. And you kind of read that story and you go, like, what are you talking about, right? I thought I have to respond to the gospel. I thought I hear the message and then I make a decision. And Barnabas brings up a really interesting conversion story, right? Here's the amazing thing, is that the New Testament clearly teaches us that the power of God, even at times, trumps our own will. It trumps our own desire. In John chapter 3, Jesus tells this guy named Nicodemus, he says, you must be born again. And I think that's what's got to happen if we're going to have Jesus work in the deepest parts of our lives. If you're taking prescription pills and you're in an unhealthy spot with the way that you're interacting with those medications, if you're looking to substances to give you life and give you meaning and give you purpose, we have to have such a radical encounter with Christ that it fundamentally shakes and shapes all of our longings, values, and desires. And so Nicodemus, Jesus tells him, you must be born again. And Barnabas Piper, in his story, that's exactly what happened, is that God helped him be born again. And when you're born again, you're actually born with a new set of values, a new set of desires, a new set of loves. And so can Jesus really help you with your prescription pills? Yes, he can, but he won't help you in some weird sense of just giving you power to not do it. He's not just going to starve that desire. He's actually going to replace it with a new desire. So instead of loving pills, now you'll love Jesus. Instead of loving alcohol, now you'll love the things and the ways of God. And so God wants to reform and reshape all of our deepest longings and desires. So God bless you guys. And as you're fighting for your recovery and for your purity over your addiction, may you find help from Jesus. Have a great day. See ya.